And look, we mainly make our picks off of the effective formula, which I'm going to dive into here right now. We got the Texans visiting the Vikings. Right now, the Vikings are at plus 2.5 with the over-under being at 46. So thinking about the Texans first. Their defense looked dominant against the rookie Caleb Williams. It looked like, hey, Caleb Williams, he was in it. You know, he had a couple throws that are pretty good, but sometimes the defense just got after him. The pass rush was just too much. Yes, the Chicago Bears offensive line is just god-awful, but the Texans still got after it. They got after him. Simple as that. And Will Anderson's just going to be absolute nightmare fuel. And CJ Stroud, it's just CJ Stroud. I mean, when they went 1-2, CJ Stroud is really good at throwing the football. He's just like one of those quarterbacks where as he's throwing it, if you're betting against him or if you bet the under like I have, you get scared whenever that ball leaves his hand because you don't know how good it's going to be, but you know something probably pretty good is going to happen. Now, Vikings on the other hand, man, that game against San Francisco was an absolute trap game. Yeah, I could just smell it from miles and miles away, but I still bet the 49ers because I was feeling it. I think Sam Darnold is a lot better than what everyone thought he was going to be. Again, I'm hearing 7th year bump. It really is a 7th year bump, and the Vikings are a little bit feisty. I think one key thing to look out for is if Justin Jefferson's going to be injured or not. That is going to kind of decide a lot of, hey, are we going to back the Vikings here or if not? But when we're looking into the splits. But now let's look at the movement, right? So currently the Vikings, they opened up plus 3.5, then got bet down to 3. Now it's bet down to plus 2.5. Kind of scary that the Sharps hit this so hard that I went from 3.5 all the way to 2.5. So it's still above 2.5, which weirdly turns out to be a key number, especially now with more offenses going for 2. But it still went down a lot, and you don't get the hook any. There's currently 39% of the bets and 41% of the money back in the Vikings in this spot. But again, what really matters, it's the effective formula, right? So calculating all of this, Nico Collins is a really good wide receiver. I understood that he was a really good wide receiver, but I think just watching that primetime game, just watching him rip a couple of the catches and just be like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, made me think, well, this guy's good at football. And so CJ Stroud's probably going to keep on throwing to him. So I'm going to go ahead and give a full point over to the Texans. So right now I have this at Texans minus 3.5. Now on the other hand, like I mentioned, Sam Darnold, 7th year bump, he's still slinging that thing. And I think having an experienced quarterback back in the Vikings is very beneficial, and he did play well at home last game, so I'm going to go ahead and give him a half point to the Vikings just because, hey, Sam Darnold, thumbs up out there. Now, last thing is that when watching receiver, Justin Jefferson's house was very, very normal. I believe he even lived in a townhouse, but what was inside when you're looking at the cabinets was about 50 different types of candies, or he just pulled out his top 3 favorite candies, and in my head, I went, whoa, that guy really likes candy. So I think it's very impressive that an NFL player who scored, I think it was like a 98-yard touchdown last week, is able to eat that much candy and be that dominant within the NFL. And honestly, when you pulled it out of the drawer, I thought to myself, oh wow, it's Halloween every night at his house. And Halloween is a mid-tier holiday. It's not my favorite holiday. It's not the holiday that I hate the most. So I'm going to go ahead and actually give a 1.5 points over in the Vikings' favor, just because Justin Jefferson, good pad. You got a good pad going, and you got some good candies going. So that being said, I'm going to have the Vikings at plus 1.5.